Mother Teresa. The name alone brings to mind images of selfless charity, a halo of compassion, and, of course, sainthood. She was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize in 1979 and praised worldwide for her work with the poor in Calcutta. But here's the thing, as much as she's been put on a pedestal, not everyone sees her through rose-colored glasses. In fact, some of the things people have said about her might make you rethink that glowing image. Let's start with the basics. Mother Teresa's mission was clear: help the suffering, the poor, and the destitute. But here's where it gets complicated. You see, as much as she was praised for her work, there's a whole other side to her legacy that's often swept under the rug. Critics have raised some eyebrow-raising points about her practices, and well, let's just say they're not exactly giving her a Saint of the Year award. One of the main criticisms? The conditions in her hospices. People who work there, and even some former volunteers, have described the places as more like death traps than healing centers. You see, while Mother Teresa was known for taking in the sick and the dying, many argue that the care provided was, well, less than stellar. In fact, some have claimed that patients were given inadequate medical treatment, with minimal focus on alleviating pain or providing proper care. And it's not just the lack of care that raised eyebrows, it's what Mother Teresa herself said about suffering. She once famously said, "I think it is beautiful for the poor to accept their lot, to suffer quietly." Yeah, a little problematic. Imagine going into a hospital and the doctor tells you, "Suffering builds character." Sounds more like something from a medieval torture chamber than a medical journal, right? Now, I know what you're thinking, but she was doing so much good, right? Well, here's where it gets even murkier. Mother Teresa's relationship with money? Not exactly the Mother Teresa we've been sold, despite the millions of dollars she received in donations over the years. Many have questioned how that money was used. Some have pointed out that much of it didn't go into improving the facilities or the medical care. Instead, it was often directed to the church or used for causes that aligned with her Catholic beliefs, like promoting anti-abortion policies. In fact, some argue that Mother Teresa's brand of charity wasn't about alleviating suffering, it was about glorifying it. The more people suffered, the more she could be seen as their savior. It's like a bizarre business model. Save the suffering, don't fix the suffering. Speaking of business models, let's talk about her involvement with some controversial figures. You see, Mother Teresa had a habit of hanging out with some questionable people. Take, for example, her relationship with notorious businessman Charles Keating. Keating was convicted of financial fraud, and yet she accepted millions from him. Her defense? She said she didn't care where the money came from, just that it helped her cause. Not exactly the transparency we've come to expect from modern-day philanthropists. And then there's her staunch opposition to birth control and abortion. Mother Teresa didn't just promote suffering as some sort of divine test. She actively campaigned against women's reproductive rights, even in places where poverty and disease were rampant. In some ways, her approach seemed more interested in enforcing a certain type of moral order than actually addressing the root causes of suffering. Now, don't get me wrong, Mother Teresa undoubtedly did some great things. She helped a lot of people, and she inspired others to do the same. But as with all saints and legends, it's important to peel back the layers and take a good look at the full picture. Because, much like those polished icons we see on the altar, sometimes the truth is a little less divine. So what's the takeaway here? Maybe we should rethink the way we view these larger-than-life figures. Instead of placing them on pedestals, maybe it's time we start asking some tough questions about how they got there in the first place. The truth, as always, is a little more complicated than the story we're told. Thanks for watching. If you want more deep dives into the legends you thought you knew, hit that subscribe button. Next time, we might just talk about other heroes with a little more nuance. This approach keeps the tone sharp and reflective while offering a more balanced perspective on Mother Teresa's legacy, one that doesn't shy away from the controversies. Let me know if you'd like any more adjustments.